Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about one method known as a Newton-Raphson method, and this method is also known as Newton's method. So let us see the steps involved in this method. So what we do to find the root of an equation in this method is we start with an initial guess. We call it as P naught. To find the root of the equation we start with this initial guess P naught, and this method is an open method, and we start with only one initial guess. The initial guess is P naught for finding the approximation to the root of this equation fx is equal to 0. So after starting with this initial guess P naught, we find the corresponding point on the curve fx. Corresponding to this point P naught, the value P naught we take on x-axis, because this is the initial guess for the root. Root is always the x value. That means we take this P naught on x-axis, and corresponding to this P naught we find the point on the curve fx is equal to 0. So the corresponding point on the curve is P naught f of P naught. And once you have this point on the curve, we draw a tangent to the curve at this point P naught f P naught. So the tangent to the curve at this point, after finding, we see the value of x where the tangent line meets x-axis. So that will be the next approximation. We call it as P1. So P1 is found by taking the tangent to the curve at this point, and where the tangent line meets x-axis, that x value we take it as the next approximation. So this is how we proceed. We start with an initial approximation P naught and corresponding point on the curve P naught f P naught, and draw a tangent to the curve at this point, and if the tangent meets x-axis at this point P1, so that will be the next approximation. So to understand this procedure, let us go to the next slide where we have a graphical depiction of this method. So let us take x-axis. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. X-axis and y-axis is taken. Next the curve. This is y fx is equal to 0. And this is the exact root where the curve intersecting x-axis, that is the root or the 0 of this equation fx equal to 0. So this is the exact root. We wish to find an approximation to this one. So to find an approximation, what we do? We start with some initial guess P naught. This is the initial guess which is an approximation to the exact root. So after taking this P naught, you find the corresponding point on the curve. So the corresponding point on the curve, this is the curve fx. So corresponding to P naught, the point on the curve will be P naught f of P naught. So this is the point on the curve. And the method suggests that we have to draw a tangent line to the curve at this point. So at the point P naught f P naught, we draw a tangent line to the curve. This is the tangent line to the curve at this point. So where this tangent line meets x-axis, this is the x-axis, and this tangent line meets x-axis at this point. So this is the next approximation P1. So P1 is obtained, the next approximation is obtained by finding the value of x where the tangent line meets x-axis. This is the method. Now once you have P1, you find the corresponding point on the curve again. Corresponding to P1, the point on the curve. So what is the point on the curve? Corresponding to P1, P1 f of P1. P1 f of P1 is the point on the curve fx corresponding to P1. So once you get this point, again draw a tangent to the curve at this point. So this is the tangent to the curve at this point. And where the tangent line meets x-axis, that is the next approximation. Here the next approximation is P2. So from P naught we are getting P1. Once you get P1, the next approximation is P2. And now afterwards, using this P2, you can find the next approximation P3 the same way. Find the corresponding point on the curve corresponding to this P2 that will be P2 f of P2. Again, if we draw a tangent to the curve at that point where it meets x-axis, that will be the next approximation. So this process will continue until we reach the required accuracy. So let us go to the derivation part of it. So we start with P naught and the corresponding point on the curve P naught f of P naught. Then we draw a tangent to the curve at this point, and where it meets x-axis, that we are calling P1. We have to remember where this tangent line meets x-axis, that we call P1. That is the next approximation obtained from P naught. We do use the same in the derivation part. So let us go to the next slide. So the derivation to find the approximation. So the equation of the tangent line at this point. So this is the point on the curve corresponding to P naught. The point on the curve is P naught f of P naught. So equation of the tangent line. We know equation of any line is of this form: y minus y naught is equal to slope times x minus x naught. So y minus y naught, what is this value, y coordinate value, f of P naught is equal to slope. Slope is nothing but the derivative of the function. Derivative of the function at that point. So slope is f derivative at P naught times x minus x naught, the x coordinate value. So this is the equation of the tangent line: y minus f P naught is equal to f derivative P naught times x minus P naught. Now where this tangent line meets x-axis, we suppose that the tangent line meets x-axis at the point P1. So since it is on the x-axis, there will be no y will be 0, y coordinate will be 0 on x-axis, and the x value will be P1, because we are assuming, we are supposing this tangent line meets x-axis at the point P1. So therefore we can substitute this point in this line, because it is a point on this tangent line, it must satisfy. In place of x, you can take P1, this is the x value. In place of y, you can take 0. So if you put 0 in place of y and P1 in place of x, that is simply substitution. Okay, then we will be getting 0 minus y is 0, 0 minus f P naught is equal to f derivative P naught times P1 minus P naught. In place of x, we put P naught, P1. Now we have to simplify this to get P1 value, the next approximation value. To get this one, P1 minus P naught is equal to, if you take f derivative P naught to the left hand side, minus f P naught over f derivative P naught. From that we will get P1 is equal to, take minus P naught to the right hand side, P naught minus f P naught over f derivative at P naught. So this is the formula to get the approximation P1 using the initial approximation P naught or P0, where this derivative f at P naught should not be 0, because the denominator is 0, then it is not valid. Therefore the derivative should not be 0, that is here the denominator is f derivative P naught, so it should not be 0. And graphically, if we see this one, why this condition is required, the derivative of the function at P naught is not equal to 0. Let us go to the curve again. So here the derivative to the function f at this point not equal to 0. The derivative is nothing but slope of the tangent. So this tangent slope should not be 0. Why the tangent slope should not be 0? If the tangent slope is 0, then this tangent line will be parallel to x-axis. If the tangent line slope is 0, then it will be parallel to x-axis. And in that case, it will not intersect x-axis, and you cannot find P1. So P1 is the point where the tangent line intersects x-axis. So when the tangent line slope is 0, it will be parallel to x-axis and it will not intersect x-axis. Therefore, we cannot have P1, the next approximation. So graphically, that is the reason why f derivative at P naught not equal to 0. And looking at this formula as well, it is in the denominator. So it should not be 0. So this is the formula to get the approximation P1 using P naught. So starting with P naught, you will get P1. The same procedure again we apply at the point next at P1. If we apply, you will get the next approximation P2. So that is this one. P1 is obtained from P naught. Once you get P1, if we do the same procedure, you will get P2. P2 equal to P1 minus F P1 over F derivative P1. Again, after getting P2, same, if we apply the same procedure, we will get P3 and P4 and so on. In general, this is the formula. Successive approximations Pn are obtained from this formula. Pn equal to Pn minus 1 minus F of Pn minus 1 over F derivative Pn minus 1, where F derivative Pn minus 1 not equal to 0. So this is the general formula to find the approximations in the Newton-Raphson method, or simply we call it as Newton's method. So let us go to the next slide where we look at an example. So in this example, use Newton's method to find a solution of this equation sin x minus e power minus x is equal to 0 on this interval 3, 4, accurate to at least within 10 power minus 5. So the given equation we call fx. Fx is sin x minus e power minus x. And in this method, you need the derivative as well. So let us find the derivative of fx. F derivative x equal to sin x derivative cosine x, e power minus x derivative minus e power minus x. So minus times minus, it will be plus, plus e power minus x. This will be the derivative. And we know the root is lying between 3 and 4. We have to start with some initial guess, initial approximation for the root. So here we are taking in between 3 and 4, 3.5. Any value you can take between 3 and 4 as the initial guess. Here I am taking P naught, the initial guess is 3.5. So using this P naught, you will get the successive approximations, next P1, after that P2, and so on and so forth. So let us put in this formula P1 in place. This is the general formula for Pn. So if you put n equal to 1, P1 equal to P naught P0 minus f of P0 over f derivative P0. So let us substitute the values. P naught or P0 is 3.5. You put that one minus f of P naught. In this function, you put P naught value over f derivative at P naught. In this derivative, you put P naught value, that is 3.5, and after substitution and simplification, you will get P1 3.079612. And once you get P1, use this P1 again in this formula to get P2. So when n is equal to 2, P2 equal to P1 minus f of P1 over f derivative P1. So again we do the same then with the formula, and we put P1 value in this and use fx and f derivative x. You will get next approximation 3.096379. And after getting P2, we'll go to P3. So we got P1, P2, P3, and if you look at the errors, error is nothing but difference between successive approximations. So P1 minus P naught, that will be the first error. Next, P2 minus P1 is this error, and P3 minus P2 will be this error. And here we got the error is 0.000 here 4015, that is 1.5 10 power minus 5. So the root we want at least within 10 power minus 5. So we can stop when the error is of order 10 power minus 5. And the root is 3.096364, accurate to at least within 10 power minus 5. So this is how we do find the root using this Newton-Raphson method, or simply we call it as Newton's method. So here there are some problems for you. You can try to do those. In the exercise we have the first one, use Newton's method to find approximation to this cube root of 25. So here To find this value, first we form the equation by letting this is equal to x. Once you get the equation, you put in the general formula and you find successive approximations accurate to within 10 power minus 6. Similarly, the other two problems. So you try to do these two problems. So this is the end of this presentation, which is about Newton's method.